The Department of Education recently made one of the dumbest decisions ever regarding healthcare. They decided that nurses, nurse practitioners, physician assistants, occupational therapists, and physical therapists, among others, are no longer considered professional degrees. Not only is this extremely insulting to some of the most integral healthcare providers that we have, but it will also likely impact staffing of these types of practitioners. We're currently facing an extreme nursing shortage, and it's only going to get worse over the next several years. Now, there are a lot of reasons for this, but one big one is burnout. Surveys show that 4 in 5 nurses face extreme stress while at work. And this has only been made worse after the pandemic, where you get stupid people who don't respect them and will even assault nurses. And staffing shortages, partly caused by poor reimbursements from insurance companies to hospitals, cause these nurses to have to handle many more patients than they can safely handle. Now, on top of that, the Department of Education, headed by former WWE executive Linda McMahon, is now calling them no longer professionals. And this will limit the amount of federal student loans that nursing students can take out. Now, this can't make the nursing shortage worse, could it? Now, the fact is that nurses are the most important part of the hospital system. Yes, even more important than physicians. If all the nurses were to quit their job today, the hospital system and healthcare would fall apart literally within minutes. But if you think about it, if all the doctors would quit today, then nurses can actually keep this shit going for a while. And then you take physical therapists, all of them whom now are required to get a doctorate in physical therapy to practice. They too will be limited in the federal student loans that they can take, so that they literally will not be able to actually pay for schooling. I think Linda McMahon may have had too many DDTs and stone cold stunners that she has lost her freaking mind.
This is the dumbest move I've ever seen. And let's be honest, this is like a target towards women who work in this department. Like, a majority of people who work as nurses are women. And this is tremendously affecting them. And essentially, they were forcing them to now go to private companies to get loans that have high interest rates, which is not the best option ever. How do you go from being essential workers to non-professionals? A registered nurse degree is one of the hardest degrees to obtain. Speaking as a nurse, also physicians don't know how to do most of what we do. After all the education, training, examinations that we have to take, if nursing is not a profession, then what is it? At this point, they think of it like a curricular activity or a side gig, man. They just chucked it away like, it ain't nothing but a thing. Non-professionals telling professionals they are not professionals. The irony.
Why does it matter that NP school and CRNA school is no longer considered a professional degree? It matters as far as federal loans and how much money they will give you now. So now that CRNA school and NP school is no longer considered a professional degree, your federal loan limit will now be $20,000 a year. CRNA school is $150,000 to $200,000, and you can't work during it. So you see the issue? And the craziest part is someone commented on my last post and was like, it's not like they're trying to take your degree. No, I don't think they're trying to take my BSN. I already have my BSN, but it's going to make it very hard for me to go back to school. And the craziest part, someone commented under her comment and was like, it just makes it hard for people who can't afford to go back to school, that now they have to take out like private loans and stuff to do so. And she was like, well, I'm on a low income loan and I'm not affected. You're not affected now. Who's to say you're not next?
What's funny is I thought that I was about to go to school to be a nurse practitioner, but I don't think so at this point, because they said nursing is no longer considered a professional degree. I'd like to see these people go to school for 2 years and get associates. I'd like them to go to school for 4 years and get a bachelor's. How about they go to school for 6 years and get a master's and see how professional that is? Just graduated school. I'm a new grad resident. I had a dream that I was going to be a nurse practitioner. I planned on going next year. But guess what? In 2026, they said that they're cutting the funding. Y'all not getting no more loans, baby. Well, y'all are. But guess what? Y'all only get $20,000 a year. The school I plan on attending is $60,000. To get a master's degree in nursing and science, to become a psychiatric nurse practitioner, $60,000. They're only going to give us $20,000 a year. You do the math. The program's 2 years. $60,000. They're giving me $20,000 a year. That's $40K. Guess what? I got 20 grand I still got to come up with. That means I'm not going to school. Who's coming out of pocket $20,000 just to go to school? When I'm used to getting grants and loans and things of that nature. But now they said no. Figure it out. They don't want us to continue our education. They want us to stay exactly where we at. They want the women to be barefoot and pregnant because nursing is primarily dominated by women. They said, nah. Y'all go ahead, get back in the kitchen, make me some food, and take care of my children. That's what they want you to do. They don't want you to advance. They don't want you to make more money. They want to see where you at. Crabs in a bucket. But you know what? I ain't gonna worry about that. I'm gonna take my talents elsewhere. Y'all better work on y'all businesses. Y'all better get y'all LLC. Y'all better do what y'all need to do. Y'all need to get y'all social media following up. Y'all better collect the bag another way. Because I don't know if you're going to get this other degree. I would like to, but I don't know. They're playing with my top. But it's all right. I'll call you back. Bye.
I'm still going for nursing. I'm not allowing a devil to stop what God has for me. Amen to that.
Women with advanced degrees should leave the United States immediately. It has become that extreme. And women, if you are pursuing an advanced degree, transfer to another country yesterday. This reclassification of degrees as professional or not professional shows that educated women are the biggest threat to this administration and their goals. So what are they trying to do? They are trying to prevent more of us from being out there. More of us with advanced professional degrees like teachers, nurses, nurse practitioners, physical therapists, occupational therapists, degrees that give women historically independence to live autonomously, not be tied down to a man. And ladies, if you already have your degree, they will come for you at some point too. This is just the beginning. First, they're trying to prevent more of us, but eventually they're going to come for all of us. You do know that. And me, being a former teacher with a master's degree in education and the rise of fascism, yeah, that's one of my advanced degrees, honey, saw the writing on the wall over a year ago. And guys, they told us exactly what they were going to do. They put it online. You could literally Google P2025, you know what I mean, and read it. This was all part of their plan. And now is the time. I tell people all the time, I'll let you know when it's time to leave. I'll let you know when it's time to worry. Ladies, it's time.
France, Germany, and Norway are offering US medical students free tuition. That was out last week in advance to this. I guess now you have a few other options that you can also go to, including Canada. Not leaving others to fight fascism on their own. My advanced degree and I will stay right here and fight. Hey, at least there's some people willing to stay and fight, because you can't just leave when things get tough. Now, if this becomes like a situation that's ongoing, hey, maybe you might have to count your luck and leave. 2 family members voted for this. One, a master degree teacher, and another nurse. They are pretty quiet as of late. Such foolishness. Now they realize the consequences of their action.
So apparently nurse practitioner degrees are no longer going to be considered professional degrees under the new Department of Education proposed rules that go into effect next July. MDs and DOs, they are still considered professional. That makes complete and logical sense. However, NPs, not professional. CRNAs, not professional. PAs, not professional. But chiropractors, they are still considered professional under these new proposed rules. However, physical and occupational therapists do not fall under these professional degrees. They are not professional. Speech language pathologists, not professional. Theology and divinity degrees, yes, they are considered professional. However, teachers, the ones who are actually the ones teaching the entire country, are not considered professional. I truly cannot even put into words how much this does not make any sense. As someone who has been studying my ass off for 2.5 years in a doctorate of nursing practice program, completing clinical rotations and managing patients and sacrificing my time, my money, my sleep, and quite frankly, my sanity, to now be told that my profession is not professional is beyond disrespectful to not just NPs, but to every single professional healthcare degree out there. NPs, CRNAs, PAs, PTs, OTs, SLPs, social workers, even teachers. Like, it is so disrespectful in so many ways to not consider these professions professional enough to be worthy of loans. This decision doesn't just impact job titles, it impacts federal loan caps and affordability and access to education and the future workforce. It's all in all very insulting to every single advanced practice provider out there who works on the front line of a very broken system, but still chooses to show up for their patients every single day. So to the Department of Education, I don't know who came up with this list and how you guys decided on which profession is more professional than the others, but please go back and try again.
They're targeting women-dominated fields. I mean, I don't disagree with that at all. Female-dominated fields are the bulk of these, and it's intentional. It was outlined in P 2025 as well.
This goes without saying, but nurses carried this country through the pandemic, and the Department of Education has just turned around and spat in all of our faces, because the new rules that they have proposed that would go into effect next July no longer consider CRNAs, which are nurse anesthetists, and nurse practitioners as professional degrees. However, chiropractors, a pseudoscience that is quite literally rooted in the belief that a dead doctor, the ghost of a dead doctor, came to this guy and showed him how to crack backs in order to cure disease. That's chiropractics. Those are professional degrees, as well as theologists, people who study religion. But nurse practitioners, CRNAs, PAs, occupational therapists, physical therapists, speech and language pathologists, none of those are professional degrees anymore. This is important because the professional degree designation is now what the Department of Education is using to decide who actually gets student loans and therefore gets to go to school. And before people start commenting it, yes, I'm fully aware that Project 2025 aims to get less women in the workforce, and they are fully aware that most of the professions that they designated as no longer professional degrees that I just named are primarily women. And yes, I am fully aware that chiropractors are primarily frat boys who were not smart enough to get into med school. And yes, I mean that with full offense. But this goes further than disrespect. This is going to cripple our healthcare system even further. The number of people who have been able to afford to go to med school has been steadily dropping for a long time. And that is why a lot of folks have turned to other degrees like physician assistants, PAs, nurse practitioners, etc., in order to reach a provider level of care. And a lot of folks, I'm willing to bet a lot of people watching this video, see nurse practitioners for their primary health care. Internal medicine is a field of medicine that is, by and large, lowly funded. These doctors, these providers do not make a lot of money. And nurse practitioners are one of the largest groups of people providing that medicine, which is so extremely important in order for people to maintain a basic level of health. So yeah, this fucking sucks. It's a huge slap in the face, and the Department of Education can suck my...
And it's very sad to see where this administration is willing to go to get what they want. This is eugenics. So many people will pass away because of this. Medical costs are going to soar and wait times are going to increase. Well, guys, let me know what your thoughts are with nursing not considered to be a profession and how this will affect the medical industry. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Now, if it's your first time to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It does help the channel. And if you haven't, also check out this video. I'm sure you're definitely going to enjoy it. But nevertheless, I will see you guys when I see you. Peace.